I took the Hoffman family on a whirlwind tour of Google's home office with Megan Smith, Google VP, and head of Google's Solve for X experimental program. Here's what we saw. We're here in the parking lot of Google. Okay, and this is valet parking. We desperately need valet parking.
We actually have one. There's actually a parking spot right up here.
I see it.
Oh, great.
Between the actual parking spot in between the vault and the tow camera.
Every time I come here, it gets more crowded.
Yeah, it's like this every day.
Unbelievable.
Especially around this time.
Thank you. So we're here at Google. Just look at the age and the faces of the people. If you want to know what fun is, just as we walk along, see how old the people are who work here.
You can get your hair cut. Get in, get out.
Get in, get out, a haircut truck. Look, they're serving food outside here. Does anybody work here? They're all eating. Yeah, a dinosaur. Hey, a model of a dinosaur.
Hanging off of it.
With flamingos. There's only one Google in the world. I have never been in a company like this place. I've never been anywhere, anything like this. Sign up, Hyde. There she is, Megan Smith. These people are all taking tours here. See, David has the current searches. So that's the screen of searches, 1/10 of 1%, or 1/1000000000 of 1% of the searches. Look at those things. Oh, I see.
So
Legos.
why do you think we chose those colors?
Legos.
So when they first were at Stanford as students, Larry and Sergey needed to make a structure for holding. They had this different idea, which is, you know, when you type with search, like you go like this, which we searched for.
Search David Hoffman.
Okay. But here are some of the pages. There's 93 million results for these words. They could be about different things, but these are the ones we think are the most relevant. The computers back behind the scenes, you wouldn't think Google's a computer company, would you? No. But we actually make huge, tons and tons and tons of computers. Like this is the early web page of Google. So it just looked like this. It looked really similar in a lot of ways when they began, and so the search traffic just grew.
Use of cheap components was born out of necessity.
So you just took
They
stuff
didn't have
that already
money.
exists. You didn't make a special thing. You took what you could the parts you could find.
It was so radical, unbelievably radical.
And so instead of, so you could have lots of failures, rather than having a perfect machine, you just make a bunch of them, and then if one breaks, it doesn't matter. And my friend Jason made this thing, it's called Liquid Galaxy. And so he just took the Amazing Google Earth software, but then he put all these screens so you could really go inside it.
There's a Colosseum.
See, you're in Rome.
We'll start at Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Go to England, right there. Okay, so you can zoom around. So just see if you can move forward. I don't know how to use this one. Yes,
It's
I think it's interesting. Stonehenge.
it's
You
like
come
the
over this
Oculus
highway,
Rift
and there it
without
is.
the Oculus Rift. That makes sense.
Henry's very into the Oculus Rift.
Down the road and turn around.
Places to go. You want to see where the rover was?
Sure.
Okay, so you're going to
This would be the dream purchase for your home.
Here though.
These are all, yeah.
And now I'm underwater.
How is that Google Earth? That's
It's
not.
Google Ocean.
Go there. For crying out loud. And
So this is searching that's happening in the world. So each dot represents a certain amount of searching. And so you can see, like, here's parts of, looks like Hawaii. Yeah. And there's New Zealand.
See all the places that are not
Australia.
searching.
Yeah, so Japan. You know, you see little stuff, but there's not that many people. Each search represents a lot. Indonesia. Here's India.
There's a lot of people searching over there.
Yeah, look at Europe.
Very few in Africa.
No, but look at Europe and look at Africa. What's going on there? Yeah. And so one of the things that's interesting to me is this is 2005, and there's all kinds of cables between, between here and all around here. But interestingly, there's cables going off to Asia here, but there was no cable next to this whole continent.
Do you need cables?
2005, yeah, you need undersea cables. There's like the plumbing.
I see.
And look at this cable. It just ignores all these countries. This one doesn't stop. And the light pink means planned. So it's not actually working. So if you live here and you wanted to be talking to friends all around the world in games or sell some products or take an online class or whatever, what should you do? all the people who live in the emerging markets, like these places, who have very little opportunity to make companies or have a job or whatever, that's going to totally change. And all these talented people will join us. And so the world would get better because more people themselves would be able to help themselves and their family and collaborate with each other, which is going to be really exciting.
The Dalai Lama, Tibet's exiled, scrapped plans on Tuesday to attend the 80th birthday, and so instead, this is their advertisement, because of Google Plus, he joined via Hangout, and that's them thanking Google for allowing them to have a birthday together via Hangout. South Africa would not give the Dalai Lama a visa, so Google just hooked him up via Hangout, and they got to see each other.
One of the rules is you can't have an office alone. So, because we always work together, so like 2 people are in this one, and 3 over there, and 2 over there. If you like a quieter place, then you might go in one of those rooms where you have a cover and it's a little quieter. Different.
And these are all workspaces, or these are
People are meeting and doing meetings there. And then also we have a lot of food. This cafe is named after Urz's dog.
What's the
whose name was
principle of having
Yoshika.
food? Why have food?
Because, like, when you go to eat, it's just really helpful to, like, just go grab food with whoever you're working with. And so it just became our culture. And Charlie was our, I'll show you Charlie. This is Charlie's Cafe. And then on Fridays, we have a meeting called TGIF. And so the whole company meets.
And instead of animals, they put engineers.
By the way, this is perfect for you. Henry ought to have this sign. There's so many things like that. You could spend weeks in here.
So one of the things you'll see is like people who like different things. Like, I guess there's some people who like Bach music, so they're going to do that. Somebody's doing a blood drive, which is really important. In fact, the
anime
California
club.
Blood Bank, it's an anime club. I don't know, some career mentoring. if you
And let me just tell you something. Most companies, when Megan and I started, you'd be fired for putting something on a window. See, people just put things up on the walls.
This might be actual jobs in the engineering office in New York for the EDU team. So
What's
for
EDU?
Like .edu is what they're referring to in
yeah.
education. So the teams that are working with schools and classrooms and that. So again, the blood drive.
Look at this last one,
Okay,
guys.
so this one is for the Google Science Fair. And they're saying, I love whatever. So this person loves robots. They're good at building things and they want to help their grandmother. Right there. Chocolate cookies, cherry brownies.
Wow.
Reese's bar, that's a coffee noodle. They try to put all this stuff in the microvision that's bad for you down below.
We're family. Look at this. Davey, look at this.
Daddy, I can't wait to be a scientist here.
All right, deal.
I know, Davey.
Sergey emailed the engineers asking what would help them. And they said, well, if we didn't have to go to the laundromat, we could just have laundry machines here. So they just got them. And so we have a tradition to have laundry and showers and stuff if you need it, because then you don't have to do that. You can
oh, look at that. You can stick the mic right up on the bucket. Yeah.
like our main, this is our main headquarters.
Zip, zap, zoom.
I think the first step is you have to take off your tie, so they're way behind in that. Like, the first attitude is like loosen
One
this
time Eric
thing.
sent out the dress code of Google. It's you must wear clothes.
Davey, there's a Google bike. They have these different bikes around that you ride to go between the buildings.
So when the water turns on, the water moves. And the water moves and you just swim, you sort of swim, it's like you're in place, but
How many people work here?
at Google total, it's 40 or 50,000, and I think it's got to be at least 10 or 15,000 here in Mountain I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Google.
I don't want to leave. I'm still hungry.
Oh, it's the food that drags you. Oh, well, I understand that. I think it's a wonderful environment to create. What'd you think, Hyde?
Well, I think that, first of all, I've never seen so many people smiling at work. That is a big deal. And working in groups so beautifully. And of course, you know, Megan makes everything interesting. She has a great story. She showed us really interesting stuff. And
Megan has such wonderful, positive energy.
I could just follow Megan around all day. So
What about you, young man? You were the guy I was really taking to Google. What'd you think?
I'm hungry.
We Hoffmans would like to thank Google, and especially Megan Smith, for this extraordinary adventure. And we wish Google and Megan good fortune with all of their efforts.